The amazing digital circus just released a trailer for the ninth and final episode, 2 months early mind you. This is very exciting, and although we only have a minute of footage to review, let's break it down anyway. Also, quick disclaimer, sorry if I sound weird, I have a stuffy nose, so my tone's gonna be a bit off. Oh, and another disclaimer, I'm doing this in one take, I'm trying to get this in a rush. Because, it just got released 2 hours ago, so I am just way too excited. Let's get into it. Now the first thing you'll see in this trailer is the circus itself. There is no more color, there is no more life, everything feels so still and dead, except for all these cracks in the code. But it goes to show how much Kane was basically holding this place together. Now that he's gone, it feels like it's on the verge of falling apart. If Kane does, or rather, did control everything in the circus, then we're lucky we even have a circus left to stand in. For all we know, everything could have just been deleted and the people would just be stuck in a void, but that really would not make for a good final episode, would it?
Are you sure?
Now this is followed up by a black screen with Pomni asking, "Are you sure?" and Ragatha saying, "That means," before being cut off. Now I'm 99% sure I'm replying to Kinger after saying he deleted Kane. It's basically Pomni going, "Are you sure he's really gone? Are you sure we just did that?" And I think Ragatha here is, well, this is just a theory, but I think she's realizing that the abstractions are finally free, nothing is gonna hold them back anymore. This really is gonna be some sort of question that needs to be answered in the 9th episode, because, a bit of a spoiler, they don't really talk about the abstractions here. Now, we get to see several shots of scenes that are going to happen in episode 9. The first one being basically a continuation of episode 8 just from a different angle. I mean, this makes sense because episode 8 and 9 are going to be showing together in the theater. It's basically a part 1 and a part 2. So that's really all we can gather from this. This is most likely just following up from the end of episode 8. This would likely be the very first shot at the beginning of episode 9. The next shot is of Gangle and Zubul sitting together, just looking absolutely destroyed. Their colors are desaturated in this dark world. It's really sad to see. It really shows the gravity of the situation, and I absolutely get it. There's nothing much there, but I just really love Abstragedy, and I really hope their relationship comes to a climax in this episode because, my god, it is not looking good for them. Well, it's not looking good for anyone, but still. But one thing there is to say actually is that they're not even looking at each other. They're looking away, or they're looking down. So it seems like they either just had an argument or they're about to have a conversation. So maybe this results in them holding hands or kissing somehow. Lord, please don't make anything bad happen to these two. Now here you can see Pomni holding her hand out to Ragatha, who is hugging herself, absolutely devastated. I'm not very good at character analysis, but Ragatha hugging herself basically tells me that she's all she has. She is so used to people pleasing that she seldom ever has anybody who comforts her. So this seems like this is gonna be one of few times somebody's actively reached out to her instead of the other way around. And honestly, she needs that, and Pomni knows that too, so she's really gonna have to step up as the anchor of the group or their de facto leader. Now here we have a shot of Pomni looking at something just out of view. Now we don't know what it is, but based on her expression, it seems like that she's sad and concerned. So this is most likely the fallout of the group at the end of the first scene of episode 9. Likely, she's watching them walk away to comfort each other or themselves, so she's just left there to process everything all by herself. Now this shot is interesting because it's Jax putting on the mask and it's bigger than we've ever seen it before. Now what's more interesting is that the shot is in full color, which likely means this is a flashback. Flashback of what? Well, my running theory is that this is him after seeing Ribbit abstract. Like, he's lost somebody he loved, so he's putting on this mask and making sure that he's never being hurt again. I mean, it just makes sense. Like, after this is most likely when he's being such an asshole to everyone, to a point that he barely even shows a reaction to Kaufmo being abstracted. So this is most likely it, but there's a 10% chance it could be wrong. We cut to another black screen, with Jack saying they have nothing and Gangle being unsure of what's gonna happen next. I think these are also reactions to Kinger's deletion of Kane. This will most likely be said in the first scene. And once again, Jax is such an interesting character because the way he says it is like, we already know that he's basically made the circus his life. He's accepted his role as a cartoon trope. So the mask is fully off, the facade is broken. Now he has nothing. There's literally nothing left because the circus is dying right in front of him. My god, he's such an interesting character. To really add to this is the next shot of Jax. It's a close-up of him with a shadow over his face except for his mouth, and there's a big emphasis on his expression right now. It's like, it's not his usual frowns, it's just destroyed. It's really genuine, sad, biting his teeth frown. Like, is most likely still in the first scene. This is his worldview finally being broken. Now, there's nothing left to do but be real. Now here in this shot is Kinger looking down. He's most likely talking to the group. This is likely still in the first scene. But what's interesting to note here is that one eye is sticking out of the bucket. I think that now that the circus has finally gone dark, now that Kane's influence is basically non-existent now, he's no longer insane, or rather, the whole place is dark enough that he can finally look up and out of the group without going insane again. Now, I'm not sure if this means that the insanity was because of Kane. I don't think so. I think he really did just go insane on his own. But now that means he's likely gonna be sane for the entirety of episode 9, which I really hope that's true because Sane Kinger is one of the best parts about this series. And we're back to Jax. Now this is a shot of him being full of static. It's just his silhouette. I don't really know what this means, but I'm pretty sure most of you have the same idea that he is finally going to abstract. I'm not really sure if that's even possible now, because we've already seen what abstracting looks like in episode 7. I could go into this in another video, hint hint, like and follow. So what could this mean? Maybe this is for me, this is an analogy of his derealization, his little disillusionment with the world. I don't know, this one's a bit vague to me. Now we have Zubul, Pomni, and Ragatha up on the second floor looking down at something with, I guess, curiosity or shock. Now this one I'm not really sure now. We're getting into uncharted territory here. Who knows what they could be looking at? But my theory is that they could be watching the abstractions or whatever, but I don't think so because they're way too calm for this. So this could be something new that's happening or something that's a pleasant surprise. Who knows what that could be at this point? And we're back to Jax. Now, I have no idea what he's looking at here. It's in this dark corridor, except for this blinding light right in front of him. His shadow is looming, and he's completely entranced by this thing he's looking at. Again, I will always bring up the idea that he's gonna be looking at an abstraction, or maybe he's in his own mind just losing it. Who knows, because like looking at the floor, this is an area of the circus that we have not seen before. Maybe he's looking at the exit, or maybe he's finally lost it. Maybe he's going Kinger style. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, I wanted to talk about the two shots together. It's Pomni looking up at somebody, she's in tears, and Ragatha looking down, and she's just emotionally dead. I think these two are looking at each other. I think they're gonna be having their own conversation, which is what I think the next two audio lines are, which is Ragatha asking what they're gonna do now, and Pomni just saying that she just wanted to help. I don't know what Pomni could be referring to here. I thought it would be like her wanting to help everyone in the circus and failing, but I think in particular, she's talking about Jax and how she's just unable to help him while she was able to help everybody else, and instead he's just fallen into a spiral. I'm not really sure, but that's my best guess here. We got more shots of characters being emotionally devastated. This time it's Zubul. Now it's all in the eyes. Zubul is clearly terrified, if not just depressed at what just happened. My guess is that they're thinking about all the times that they lashed out at Kane, only to find that Kane lashed out back and now he's gone. Like, maybe they think it's their fault, but I'm not really sure. I also think that they're looking down because they could be looking at Gangle maybe. Maybe that they're trying to support each other. I'm not really sure here. This is a frame of Pomni sitting, I think these are on some stairs. It seems like she's looking up at somebody who's going down. Maybe she's gonna have a heart to heart with somebody. I don't know who, but based on her expression, this could be somebody she's fine with at the moment. So could be anybody but Jax, I would say. Definitely not Jax. Another interesting frame we see here is Gangle. But this time, she's not wearing her happy mask. In particular, this is the manic mask that she wore in episode 4. I don't really know how, but most likely, most likely she conjured it up because we don't know the fate of the mask in episode 4. Since it's plastic, it never really broke. Maybe she just conjured it back up. She's wearing it. She tried to put on this persona again. But I'm not really sure because look at this shot. It's in full color as well. This could be another another backstory, another flashback. Not really sure. This could be happening in present day. And she tried to put up another mask and it's not working. Either one could work. Now, another interesting thing we see is that the circus is beginning to lose control. The stars in the sky are moving wildly. It's as if the whole world is spinning around wild and wild. I don't know what could be happening. I think this is gonna be the rising conflict of the show where, like, without Kane, elements of the circus are beginning to grow unstable. Shit's getting wild. I don't think this is gonna do much aside from make people a little dizzy, but it's definitely a bad sign of things to come. Like, this is just the start of the bad things. Like, how much worse could it get? And we're back to Jax. This time, he's looking at the camera, he's got this deadpan expression on his face, and of course the mask is back on. What's interesting here is that it reminds me of that scene in episode 6 where Pomni asked what he'd do if she abstracted, and he goes like, oh, I'd probably forget about you and move on. That's exactly what he's doing here. This is most likely tied into the scene where he sees Ribbit abstract. He can't handle it, so he puts on the persona for the first time, and he quote unquote forgets about her and moves on. But he totally did not forget. He totally didn't move on. It's all just one big lie. And him facing the camera feels like he knows that, and we know that. I think this is gonna be one of his first fourth wall breaks, chronologically at least. In the series, it's probably gonna be his last. Man, this is so tragic. Here's more shots of the group being emotionally devastated. This time, what's interesting is that Jax is center stage again. But what's weird is that the girls are looking down, and Zubul, but Pomni's looking up at him with this odd expression on her face, like she's befuddled by what Jax is saying. It's most likely that he's crashing out, he's speaking some hard truths that nobody really wants to hear, and he's most likely broken his ties, he's burned all his bridges, I guess I completely understand his crash out, dude. Man, this poor guy, but he's definitely taking it out on the group right now. I'm sorry, I'm being so emotional about this. I can't. The last scene in this series of shots is Pomni opening a door and looking concerned, like she's checking up on somebody. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a door to one of the characters' rooms, and 90% sure that it's gonna be Jax. She's gonna be checking up on Jax, of course.
Jax?
Yeah, it's definitely Jax. Now, this scene is very beautiful. It starts off with a moving blanket of yellow stars in a black sky, with a female voice asking, have you ever done something that you ever regret? Now, at first I thought this was Ragatha, it has a similar tone, but she would never say something like that. That's when it moves the scene to reveal Ribbit. For the first time, we see Ribbit, even though it's a flashback clearly. This is most likely her asking Jax, because this is definitely Jax's POV. I don't know where they are right now. Maybe this is Ribbit's room. Maybe this is an adventure. They're just having a heart-to-heart in the circus right now. So, what's interesting to take away from this is not just what Ribbit is talking about here. Most trailer clarity aids here. Take what I'm about to say in the next few seconds with a very large pile of salt. I was very delusional last night. I recorded that at 2 a.m. Please don't mind this. good luck and don't die from cringe. It's also the fact that Ribbit is most likely the person who suggested the stargazing adventure in episode 5. It just makes sense now. Oh my god, that is so sad. Because I'm pretty sure Jax said something like he doesn't know who requested this adventure, somebody who probably came before Pomni. Oh, he definitely knows. It's definitely Ribbit. And then the trailer ends, just like that. Well, not really. There's actually 30 seconds of text explaining that episode 9 is gonna be an hour long and that you can watch it 2 weeks early if you're in the USA, Canada, Latin America, and Japan, which lucky for you guys. Remember, no spoilers. But what this tells me is that episode 8 and 9 were definitely intended to be made and shown side by side. I don't know if they're still making episode 9 now, or maybe they're done with it already and they're just waiting for it to be released, for a schedule. Makes sense. But it also explains why episode 8 just ends so abruptly. It's basically a glorified two-parter, which is perfectly fine. I mean, Gravity Falls did the same thing for Weird Mageddon, and I love that shit. One last thing I could analyze is the background music. It's very quiet, it's very eerie and ominous. It seems like this could be the running quote-unquote background music of episode 9. I think the music is just gonna be dead for most of it. There's gonna be some moments of suspense where an orchestra builds up, but for most of it, it's gonna be this awkward, eerie silence as the cast has to accept the fact that they live in a dead world now. It is very tragic. Overall, I am so hyped for episode 9. It is so foul of Glitch to release a trailer out of the blue like that. I mean, the whole internet is going crazy now. I can feel it. Like, it's been 2 hours and there's already TikToks of this short trailer. I can't even say words right now. You guys are just gonna have to wait this out with me. I'm sorry. This is all. I hope you got something out of this trailer breakdown. I hope you got something out of these theories I'm spouting. Again, if you want to see more of me talking about these theories, please like and follow so I actually have incentive to make them. That should be it. Bye bye.